everybody? I know I'm in the same outfit I was in the last video, but you know what? When a girl does her hair and makeup, we need to make the most of that. And the kids are at camp, so yes, I decided to seize the moment. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about your role as a leader. What is it that we really, really do? And I wrote myself a list because there is a long list, and yet it is oh so simple what we do. I know it can be overwhelming. Oh, don't I know it? It can be so overwhelming. And obviously I've spent 2 years now working on this and thinking on this, and I've kind of whittled it down to some basics. So, what is the reality of what we do as a leader? Well, we have a very simple business, don't we? We sell mascara on Facebook. We kind of do the same thing over and over and over every day, don't we? We try to find different ways to say the same thing. We try to find different ways to word things because you never know. You know, you word it one way, you say one, you post one graphic and say a little something and it inspires, a third of your team. And then you say it a different way over here with a different little picture and it speaks to another group of people. But really what you've done is said the same thing. We are in the personal development business. We sell mascara on Facebook. Yes, we do. Everyone can sell mascara on Facebook, but they have to get out of their own way, right? So what we do is we are the coaches and the people who encourage our teams to step out of their comfort zone, to try something new, to let go of the fear, to move in a new direction, to do it afraid, right? That's what, with our company motto, to uplift and empower. That's kind of the empowerment portion, saying, hey, you know what? Nobody else in your entire life may have believed in you, but I believe in you. And then you watch them fly, because isn't it true that with so many people, all they need is somebody in their corner, somebody on their side who knows and believes that they have it in them, that they can do it. I truly believe anybody in this world can do anything they want if they're willing to do the work. And then that's kind of, where the rubber meets the road. Are you willing to do the work? So it's identifying those people in your downline who are willing to do the work. I had a big revelation when I was at the Black Status Retreat because Tracy Vallejos was talking to us, and I've heard this a million times. I've said it a million times, work with the willing, work with the willing. But it really like came home when Tracy said it. And I don't know if it was maybe that I just liked having somebody giving me permission to not work with those who didn't want to help themselves. The reality is we only have so much time in a day. We work our business very hard, but we're moms, a lot of us. We're wives. We have lives. Some of you have full-time jobs doing other things. We have a lot of responsibilities. And so there is only so much time in a day. So we have to work smarter. And that means finding those people in your downline who want to work and are willing to work. And sometimes they're not your personally sponsored presenters. Sometimes they're in a leg where maybe the sponsor isn't that interested in their business. I mean, they do a little here and there, but they're not really, their heart's not in it. It is completely fine for you to look at your downline, to find the people who really seem to be working their business and to reach out to them and say, hey, guess what? I am looking at this downline. You're doing amazing things. I'm so excited for you. I just want you to know that I'm here for you. If there's anything that I can do to help, if you have any questions, I know you have a wonderful sponsor and I'm here to help you too. If that person, if their sponsor gets upset, because I can hear you out there. I can hear you through my special magic phone saying, girl, that sponsor would rip me a new one. I'm going to tell you something. First of all, watch my video that I just made about sponsoring, about being a sponsor and a leader. And blocking uplines from downlines. That's number one. Number two, your responsibility is to help those who want to be helped. So you have a responsibility to those girls that are a few levels down. You have a responsibility to make sure that they are getting the training that is available to them. So if anybody came to me, let's say it was my situation and I'm reaching down and then that sponsor came to me, I would just say, you know what? When I help them, it helps you financially. So I don't understand why you're upset. And then leave it at that and let them tell you why they're upset. They don't want to tell you that it's ego. That's what it is. I hate to tell you. So you're doing the right thing. I just want you to know. You have my permission. You are doing the right thing. If you were helping them and financially it was only helping you and not the person in between, that would be a different story. But you're doing nothing unethical. In fact, I do think it's your ethical responsibility to reach out and offer support. Because in the big picture, chances are this person who's a little rock star is going to end up being your first generation, right? And when they're your first generation, they're absolutely somebody that you're going to be coaching. So let me make sure I've covered all my stuff. Hold on now. We get them out of their comfort zones. Let's review. Just review with me, shall we? We support them and believe in them so they will believe in themselves. Okay, I covered that. We say the same thing, only so much time in a day. Can't do it for them, unfortunately, right? Because if we could, we would, wouldn't we? Sometimes wouldn't it just be easier just to do it for them? I know, I hear you, I hear you. Tennis match. I've covered this before, but let's review. So you have those people who come to you and say, oh, my parties stink, and I've just tried everything, and I need your help, and da, 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 da. So here's what you do. You give them a task, and I know a lot of you do this already. You give them a task. You give them something to do. Tell them, one of the things that I always like to do, I need you to make a list of 100 people. 100 people that, even some of them, if you're too scared, like you're like, oh, there's no way I'm contacting them. That's okay. That's okay. Even if they're your scary Marys, that's what I call them. I'm gonna make a video about that. But even if they're your scary Marys, you make a list, tell them, make a list of 100 people and come back to me when you're done. And then I'll tell you where to go next with that. And then you wait for them to hit that tennis ball back to you, for them to complete that task and to come back to you. If they don't come back to you, you've done your work. It's on them now. We're not going to hear that. Don't come back to me complaining. Don't come back to me telling me you need my help when you're not willing to do what I've asked you to do. All I've asked you to do is make a list of 100 people. And it's going to be hard. Like, you'll be able to whittle out probably 50 people like that. That last 50 is really going to take some thought. But this is going to be a list that they are going to use for a long time. It's a very important task. I've given that task to people and they go away. Like, it makes them go away. That's not always a bad thing because now they're not wasting my time anymore, right? The other thing is, I've given this task to people and they've come back to me within the hour. Well, now I'm fired up, right? Because I got a live one. Like, I've got somebody who is like willing to learn. Whew, there's nothing more exciting than that. You know that. Okay, let's move on. So now we've got, oh yeah, no, here. Do not be their mama. I ain't your mama. I'm not your mom. You are a self-employed businesswoman. You can do whatever you want in this world, but I'm not your mama. I'm not going to do it for you. You need to do it for yourself. I will tell you what I did. I'll tell you what worked for me. Try that. That doesn't work. Get creative. Come up with your own ideas. You know, it's funny to me how, you know, when we needed a document, when we needed a video, when we needed a tutorial, when I was starting, there was nothing. So we had to do it on our own. It's funny to me how presenters that are coming along nowadays expect it to be done for them. No. If there is something missing, fill the gap yourself. You're self-employed. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make your own tutorial video. If you didn't like the one the corporate did, make your own. Because you know what? Your customers and your friends are going to respond to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look at me. I'm looking at my notes. I don't have, you know, I don't edit these videos for a reason. I use it as a training tool. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be. Be yourself. When I stopped trying to be something that was super polished and perfect all the time, I relaxed. I started having more fun. I think my videos got better. And I think it inspires more people because they're like, hey, look at Sherry. She flubs up. She's, you know, she screws up. She doesn't worry about things being perfect. I know everybody wants me in my bathroom, but dang it, I like to look out my pretty window. Okay. I only was in that bathroom because my son was home. Okay. Let me out, people. So let's review here. Don't be their mama. And guess what? You're nobody's boss. Did you know that? Did you know I'm not the boss of you? Nobody's the boss of you. You're the boss of you. You're a self-employed woman and a man. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking of Caitlyn Jenner now and my mind's going right. I'm just saying, whatever you are, you're self-employed. Good for you. Be who you are. It's a whole tangent. Yeah. Nobody works for you. You don't work for anybody. Nobody can tell you what to do. I hear a lot about sponsors going to their leaders, greens and aboves, and telling them, I don't like this post. You need to remove this post from your page. You need to, oh no, excuse me. Unless it's something negative that could be harmful to the downline. And then you just kind of offer like, hey doll, you know, that might cause you some problems, you know, that's a little bit negative and it might stir up some stuff. That's like the extent of it, because if you're a leader, that is your team page to do with what you will. And you know, be happy to offer suggestions, but I'm not going to tell you how to run your business unless you come to me and say, I'm having a problem running my business. And then I will tell you, I will give you some tips. But otherwise, don't let anybody boss you around like that. Nobody owns you. Okay? Nobody owns you. It's a pet peeve of mine. Okay. Identify what and who gives you energy and what and who drains your energy. Try to spend more time with those who feed you and who fill you up. Less time with the drainers. Drainage management is very important, especially as your team gets bigger and bigger. Always be kind, but keep the negative away as much as possible, because that's just a good rule in life, right? You know that saying, you're most like the 5 people you surround yourself with. So pick good ones. Pick good ones. Okay. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up today. I've kept it less than 15 minutes. I hope that was helpful to you. My intention in doing this video really is just to help take some of the pressure off of you. Your job is to show your team what you did to get where you're at. That's it. Show them how you did it. Show them how you did it. Be willing to share how you did it, because the blessings will just come back to you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.